This is my fourth time filming this video. Everything that could be going wrong today is going wrong today. I'm so sorry for complaining at the beginning of this, but y'all don't even know how the past 2 days have been, so please like and subscribe, please, and hit that bell. I've never said that before, but fuck it, I'm gonna say the stupid YouTuber thing. Hit the bell, and let's begin. Welcome back to my channel. I need to give credit to Hannah from Smoky Glow because the whole evolution of Blank and their content series is her thing, but I wanted to do one of my own, so I'm doing one of my own. So you've probably heard of Corpse or Corpse Husband if you've been online since 2020, and you're probably aware of him due to either his music or his Among Us gameplay. Corpse has grown rapidly the past year. He went from 1.3 million subscribers to 7.4 million subscribers in the span of 5 months, and people either love him or absolutely hate him. But who is Corpse Husband? I mean, I don't know, but what we're gonna do today is go over who Corpse is based on what we know, talk about his start, his growth, his evolution, etc. You get the point. Starting at the beginning. Corpse created his channel on July 16th, 2015, and his first video was posted the next day on July 17th. The video is titled Last Friday, Scary Creepypasta to Tell at Night, and it's only 3 minutes long. I can't accurately gauge how successful this was in terms of first ever video, because the Wayback Machine only takes it back to November 2020, where it had around 100k views, but I do think it did pretty well for a first ever video, because Corpse has said in a previous live stream that his first ever video got 100 views, which based on mine and other people's experiences, that's pretty good for a first video. But regardless of its success at the time, that was the birth of Corpse Husband as we know it. I don't know why I felt the need to use the word birth. I don't know why I wrote it that way. Sorry. That was kind of weird. Anyways, Corpse was uploading multiple times a week at this point. His second ever video came out the day after the first video, and his third video came out just a few days after the second. Something that people find interesting about Corpse's earlier content is his voice. If you know Corpse, you know the voice.
Hey, Corpse. Hello?
What up, baby?
What the fuck?
But his voice in these earlier years was not as deep or raspy as it is now, and this has confused some people, and it's helped fuel the theory that he's faking his voice, which, as someone that's been watching Corpse for ever, that's so dumb. I thought this would come up later on in the video, but since it's come up now, let's go ahead and talk about GERD. GERD is gastroesophageal reflux disorder. It's not the exact same for everyone that has it, but basically it's when stomach acid flows up into your food pipe and it causes some chest pain, irritation, heartburn, etc. So for Corpse, GERD caused irritation to the area around his vocal cords, which has led to the raspier part of his voice, not necessarily the deepness of it. He does say that that is just because of genetics. Is it raining? That's boosting my mood a little bit. This is also some personal speculation, but I think his voice sounding deeper than it did in his earlier content can also just be because of age. Despite going through puberty, your voice still continues to get a little bit lower as you age, especially if you are assigned male at birth. You at 30 are not going to sound the same as you did at 16. And honestly, I think that that's part of why his voice sounds a little bit deeper now, in addition to, maybe an increase in his health issues, maybe different audio equipment, maybe just him naturally talking quieter. Anyways, Corpse continued making these horror story narrations, and he gradually gained a following, hitting 100,000 subscribers in November of 2015. He had a few videos that did pretty well, but his first video that got super big is the video that came out in October 2015 titled Horrifying Deep Web Stories: Why I Quit Hacking. The video currently has 18 million views, and if I'm being honest, I haven't seen it. Listen, I have seen it, I just haven't finished it, because I'm squeamish. I love horror stuff, but I'm really squeamish when it comes to torture and stuff, so when it got to that part in the video, I said, Moving on, we're now in 2016. His uploads, I noticed, did slow down a little bit at this time. I don't think it's really anything that you would notice unless you were looking at the upload dates specifically. So February 2016 is when his second really big video came out, and it was the video Horrifying Search and Rescue Stories. If you were a Corpse fan back then, you know that this was kind of a cultural reset. It doesn't have the same amount of views as the Why I Quit Hacking video has. I think the Search and Rescue has like almost 10 million views, but this video, in my opinion, is more well known. It reached people that weren't in Corpse's core fan base, and it also reached people that weren't even really horror fans. Like, I remember a few months after that video came out, one night when I was visiting my dad before I lived with him, I went into like one of the like a back room in his house, and one of my little brothers was watching it, and like, he's not a Corpse stan. He's not even really like a horror person, and he was watching that video. This was also his first really long video. Up until that point, his uploads were usually like 10 to 30 minutes long. He did have like a few here or there that were shorter, a few here or there that were longer. I think up until this point, his longest video was 47 minutes long, but the Search and Rescue video is 2 hours and 20 minutes long, and I've seen those 2 hours and 20 minutes several times. I'm not even sorry. It's a good video. Anyways, by the end of 2016, Corpse had hit 500,000 subscribers, and he was still gradually gaining subs. One thing that I find interesting about Corpse is that he did the same thing for so long, and he never got tired of it, and the people that watched it never got tired of it either. YouTubers often go through this like kind of identity crisis with their content because of how often YouTube changes, whether those changes be because of current trends or because of a change in the algorithm or just people's audiences growing, gaining new hobbies, losing interest in a particular person, and YouTubers struggle with change. They'll either try to change with YouTube or they'll stick with what they know in hopes that their core audience will stick with them, and there's always the 50-50 chance that no matter what they do, they're slowly going to become irrelevant anyways. But what's interesting to me about Corpse is that horror narration is, even though it's gotten like bigger, it's still a pretty niche community, and it especially was in 2015. 2015 was pre the Vine invasion, it was pre the boom of the beauty community, it was pre like the boom of commentary. 2015 YouTube was dominated by like DIY and lifestyle YouTubers. It was very DIY, glitter, back-to-school hacks made for middle schoolers, made by people breaching their 30s. So for Corpse to start the type of content that he did and continue to do it for years and years while consistently gaining subscribers is honestly impressive to me. Like, I don't think that Corpse necessarily had a hype until recently, so I don't want to say that he like never lost his hype over the years, but in his own community, he was a name that was never forgotten, and even to people that like weren't into horror narration, his channel never went under as YouTube changed, you know? We're now going to jump forward a little bit to 2018, because 2018 is the year that Corpse hit 1 million subscribers, and it's also the year that Corpse completely disappeared. His uploads leading up to this point had been less frequent. Back in 2017, his uploads went from a couple times a month to once a month, and that gap between uploading getting bigger and bigger until we get to 2018, where the gap between his last video of 2017 and his first video of 2018 was like 6 months long. He only posted 2 videos in 2018. His second post was called 3 True Intense Horror Stories from People That Encountered Murderers, and unbeknownst to literally everyone, this is the last time that Corpse would upload a video until almost a full year. Side note, he didn't like disappear from the internet completely. He was still posting from time to time on his social media, but to like just his YouTube audience, he was completely gone. He came back in May 2019 with a live stream titled Where I've Been, Why I've Been Gone, and What's Going to Happen Moving Forward. In this live stream, he talks about his health struggles, which he's talked about in the past, but not with concrete detail due to both privacy reasons and just his own diagnoses being kind of unknown to even himself. Like, he had suspected he had fibromyalgia, which is widespread like muscle and body pain along with other symptoms such as fatigue, but doctors hadn't given him that diagnosis because of the fact that he was a young and active 18/19-year-old at the time. So in the live stream, he basically talked about how his health had been worsening to the point of him getting brain zaps, which, if you don't know, they're like shocking sensations in the brain. and it led to his vision being affected to where he couldn't read things from his computer. He ended up needing to get scanned for a brain tumor, which thankfully he didn't have, but he was finally diagnosed with fibromyalgia after years of being told he didn't have it. He also talks about how early 2019 is when he started to have an issue with his arms and hands to where he would lose feeling in them or like have some weird pain in them. He said that it started in, I think it was his right wrist, and it spread and got worse until he woke up one day and he could not move either of his arms. He ended up trying different self-treatments because the doctors could not find any real like cause or diagnosis, that's so not a real word. They couldn't find a solution for him. And this is something that he is still working on, like in his second interview with Anthony Padilla and on Twitter as well. He's talked about how he recently had some more testing done, and he didn't really go into detail, but it seems like what they found is not curable and is going to get worse as time goes on. So after that live stream, he did come back and continue to post. At most frequent, he posted 2 times a month, and at least frequent, there was like a 4-month gap between uploads. This brings us to 2020, where he created the channel Corpse for his music, and he released his first official song titled Miss You. He did release a song before that titled Shroud, but he like really doesn't like that song, and it's not on the Corpse channel. He also has been working on music for years, and he has like a lot of different songs just like unreleased, but Miss You was his first like official release basically. Anyways, this brings us into late-ish 2020. We're looking at like September 2020, where he was randomly asked one day by Dave, aka Boy in a Band, if he wanted to join Dave and PewDiePie in a live stream where they play this like really indie underground game that you like probably haven't heard of. It's called like Among Them or something like that. I'm so unfunny. Corpse agreed, and the stream was later clipped and put into a video that Corpse uploaded onto his channel titled How I Admitted I Was an Imposter and Still Won Against the Best Among Us Players. And if y'all thought that the search and rescue video was a cultural reset, this was a cultural reset. I have my own thoughts on how TikTok has influenced gaming. It's not like particularly relevant to this video, so I won't deep dive into it, but I will say that TikTok really has helped the popularity of Among Us and in turn helped the new growth of Corpse. This video got 27 million views. He gained almost 200,000 subscribers just in like the first week after that video was uploaded, and he continued to rapidly gain subscribers as he continued to stream and cross-promote with people like PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, Pokimane, Valkyrie, Sykkuno, etc. Just 3 days after that first Among Us video was posted, Corpse dropped E-Girls Are Ruining My Life over on the Corpse channel, which was also kind of another cultural reset. Like, there was definitely a time on TikTok where you could not escape that song. Congrats on it getting over 100 million I almost said streams, by the way, Corpse. With his growth, though, does come some controversy. Really, there's only like one big one, and it's from, I think, like October 2020, and it's when a bunch of people found like an older video of his where he uses the D slur, which, if you don't know, is a derogatory term used against lesbians. Corpse addressed this and said that he was just reading off of, you know, what was submitted to him. He apologized and removed the video, and that was like really that. That's really the only thing that Corpse has done directly, but I still don't think it's far off to say that he's a slightly controversial figure just because of his success and his fans, and not even because of like him. People are either in love with him or absolutely despise him, and this like dichotomy has led to controversies in and of itself. One pretty recent one is from February of this year, where he was accused of pedophilia and grooming. Some like screenshots and I think like a tweet came out. Spoilers, it was all fake and everything was photoshopped, of course. This is an issue that we've been seeing for a while online, like people hating certain fan bases, but I think recently, like in recent years, it's gotten more aggressive to the point where we do see these fake accusations come out. And I can't stress this enough. Y'all, don't do that. I don't care if you dislike someone. Do not create a false accusation of criminal activity or racism or homophobia, whatever it is, just because you dislike that person or their fan base. And also, in my opinion, more people hate Corpse's fans more than they hate Corpse himself. And I'm not going to say that I get it, because that kind of implies that I agree with it, and I obviously don't, but I can at some points understand like people dissing fandoms, and let me explain that before it gets misconstrued. In every fandom, there's always going to be very extreme people. We've seen it with Homestuck, we've seen it with the Dream Stands, and we've seen it with Corpse fans. Yes, I'm talking about the girl that got the hair tattoo. These extreme representations are usually a very small part of the fan base, but it is put under this like magnifying glass online, and it's presented as if it's the entire fan base. So people that don't understand the fan base that well just see what's being talked about online about it, and they in turn think that that fan base is bad or annoying or toxic or whatever it is. But honestly, Corpse fans are like pretty tame, like especially in comparison to other fan bases. Like I've seen so many people talk about how they hate Corpse fans and how they're annoying, but like, are they really? Yes, there are the people that sexualize Corpse, which is bad. Yes, there are the people that invade his privacy and try to find his true identity, which is also bad. But a lot of his fan base just likes him and Among Us and horror. And no, I personally wouldn't get a tattoo of a strand of hair, but there's like nothing really harmful about getting a tattoo for something or someone that you like a lot, something that means a lot to you, or even if it doesn't have meaning, even if you just find it funny. Like most of my tattoos are so dumb. And some random person online getting a tattoo of something that they like really doesn't affect you. Yes, it was like a little bit cringy in my personal opinion, and it was kind of like, whoa, you know, but it really shouldn't have been that big of a deal. It's really just another thing that like the anti-Corpse people have used to diss Corpse and his fan base. Anyways, as of now, Corpse does still stream and post Among Us content on YouTube, but his uploading schedule has slowed down a lot recently due to his recent health struggles. And also, just a few weeks ago, he released his song Daywalker with Machine Gun Kelly, and that's honestly where we end it, because we've kind of finished our timeline. I know that Corpse is not watching this video, but if you are, I hope that you're good. I hope that like your medical stuff is okay. I can't relate to that, so I'm not even going to try to. I just hope you're good, and I'm waiting for that fucking merch restock. And yeah, that's really where this video ends. That was the evolution of Corpse Husband and his content. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you want to see me do more types of videos like this. And I'll see you tomorrow for when I stream on Twitch. Like and subscribe, comment for engagement. I'm gonna go put a tampon in because I just started my period. Okay, bye.